guys, it's end of October now and we're back down at the syndicate as usual. I'm down here with my pal Sean from Fat Fish. So we're hoping that we're going to winkle a few out and we'll keep you updated through. But yeah, it's looking good. Conditions are looking pretty much spot on at the minute, which is weird because usually Sean here likes to bring wind and gales with him, but we'll see. So right, I'll catch up with you guys soon. Right, well, we've decided to go down swims 3 and 5 down this end of the lake, and yeah, only because the pressure's a bit built up on the other side really. There's a few anglers up the other end. This end's absolutely empty, and from the way it's fishing lately there's not going to be too much difference in whether it's this end or that end. They're too sporadic, it's not doing too many fish. So we're going to take a punt down here, and if that don't work out, we're going to have a little move tomorrow. So this is for tonight. Could all change tomorrow. So yeah, catch up soon. Well, it's been absolutely tipping it down. So we've had to get inside the bivvies, and yeah, managed to get 2 rods out before it absolutely poured down. So 1 rod left to go. Well, it's pretty strong winds already creeping in. They're meant to get up to about 60 miles an hour tonight, so that's going to be fun. We've had some intense rain, so it's puts a spanner in the works when you're trying to get everything out and get it sweet, but we'll get there. So yeah, all to play for. There's fish in here. Cheers. Well, just had this one on first light as this coming up. It's a 28 £4 common. What a lovely fish, eh? Well chuffed with that. As I say, not bad for a morning's work at all. It's been rough, we've had some mega winds. mega winds, and we've had some crazy rain last night, so the weather ain't been absolutely amazing, but we've managed one now, so that all goes away. Right, well, not long after taking them pictures of that last fish, the heavens have opened up again. So yeah, all good fun, isn't it, when we get to this time of year. That is pretty damn heavy though. Well, it's still raining. Come on, rain. It's time to leave it off now. Right guys, it's the next day now, and since that £28.4 common I had this morning, there's been no further action. All we've really had is a hell of a lot of rain all day, and lots of it, and heavy. And it's been absolutely crazy. So yeah, now the rain's eased off, we've got the rods back out on the money, we've rebaited, and I'm going to take you over and show you the rig that I'm using, and also we'll go through the bait I'm using as well, and then we're going to go up and see Sean, and he's going to show you a little bit about his fishing, what he uses, and also we're going to go and have a look at his capture of chilies, which is the biggest fish in the lake, which he had earlier on this year. So yeah, hopefully tonight's going to bring us the fish that we want, and it's all going to kick off, and things are going to be amazing, and yeah, we can pray that way anyway. So cheers for watching guys, and we'll catch up soon. Thanks. Right guys, well this is the rig that I'm using for this session. It's the rig that I use most of the time down here. It's the Slip D multi-rig, combi rig. You could call it either, I suppose, but basically we have a I've got a wide gape hook there. Now what you do to make the link is you get a length down here of coated hook braid. You then tie that into a loop, so literally as you want it as two areas, and then you're going to tie that off with a whipping knot to some fluorocarbon. Now once you've got that boom, you then add to it your chosen hook pattern. I'm using a wide gape, and then I've got a tungsten aligner just kicking it over, and then onto this I've got a micro ring swivel down here with my chosen hook bait. I'm using a Hell Orange Wofte. So, but yeah, that's pretty much the rig that I use most of the time. There's just a little anti-tangle sleeve there. So yeah, it does me well because the hooking properties I do have a lot of faith in. So as Mr. Carp picks this up, and then the hook bait obviously goes in and he spits it out, that will then run up to here, leaving the hook free to do the business. So I hope you find that helpful, but yeah, that's what I'm using. Right, I just wanted to show you through my presentation how it's going out. Now I fish on here as per venue rules with a leg clip system. I use a 4-ounce lead, and as we've seen my rig, the Slip D. Now the leg clip you have to cut down, so on your leg clip there you cut half of it off here, so that allows the lead to eject a lot easier because it's weedy. And then tail rubber over the top with 2 foot of tungsten tubing. So now this setup is very good for when it's weedy and fish can get away when they need to. So yeah, this is what I use. Nice and simple, not hard to set up at all.
Hi guys, my name's Sean, I work at Fatfish Tackle and I'm just going to briefly speak to you about my rig and the reasons why I use it on here. Right, this is a rig that I tend to use mostly, and as most of you probably know, if you've seen Scott Lloyd's rig, it's based around the noodle rig. But I do something slightly different, which is tight slip D style. The reason I do that is I prefer the bait to be a lot closer to the hook rather than have too much of a separation. And the reason behind why I use this rig is when the rules on here used to be barbless rule, I wanted a hook and a rig that will effectively stay in the mouth when using a barbless hook, hence the long angle of the shrink tube, which just curls around the bottom lip, holds it in place. And to be fair, it's probably the only rig I've actually had to unhook from the fish's mouth myself with a barbless hook. So that's my main reason for it. Plus I've found I've only tended to pick most of the bigger fish off with this rig. For some reason, I'm not quite sure, but smaller fish tend to pick this up and not hook themselves as easy as what a bigger fish would. I'm not too sure about the reasons behind it, but what I'll do now, just quickly talk you through the components and what I use. So to tie this rig, it's very simple. So we strip about 14 inches of the Thinking Anglers Tunskin hook link, strip it back about 4 inches, and then fold it over like a loop and pass it through the eye of the hook as if you was tying a multi-rig. And then it's a simple knotless knot over the rig, knotless knot over the loop, pass it back through the eye, thread obviously a long bit of shrink tube on. As you can see there, I've got a Thinking Anglers XL tungsten dropper, and then down at the bottom you'll see that I've got a bit of shrink tube covering the knot just to straighten everything out. Nice long loop to act as an anti-tangle property, as well as a small tungsten anti-tangle sleeve. And also I forgot to mention, when you thread the loop through, just make sure you do thread your micro rig swivel on, just so you can attach your hook bait to it. And again, when that hook's in the fish's mouth, that bait can fly back down there, and as you can see there, you've got a hell of a lot of the hook exposed to catching that bottom lip. So that's the reasons behind why I like using the noodle rig. It's effective, it's simple, and very aggressive in hooking properties.
Right, Sean, you had the biggest fish in the lake back in the earlier part of this year. Can you tell us more about it?
It was back on the 3rd of February this year, a bit of an opportunist session really, so it was sort of last minute decision between me and my brother. Got down here sort of first light, lake's pretty empty, there's one guy on doing a bit of pike fishing I think, so we had a walk up to shooters, scanned pretty much the whole lake for at least 2 hours, didn't see a single fish, sort of come down to the middle of the lake where it felt a bit warmer, and it was in our thinking beginning in the centre of the lake, be a good ambush point because a fish could possibly move from the left or the right, so we thought we'd go there, good ambush point if there is any fish moving. So got all set up, very quiet first day, very quiet night, and then the first morning I had a single bleep on my middle rod, and I thought, right, okay, I'll just stand out and investigate it for a bit. Then about a minute later, and then another bleep, and I just noticed the line tightening up and the bobbin sort of moving just so slowly towards the alarm. So I thought, right, I picked up into it. Lo and behold, I had a fish on the end which had kited further down towards peg 12 where my brother is, so I had to put quite a lot of pressure on it to bring it back to the swim. Sort of come up at a slight angle, didn't look very big in the water to be fair, sort of, I thought I was about low 20 mirror. So I carried on playing it, and literally it come up to the surface, sort of turned on its back, and it just got wider and wider and wider. See the lump on the right hand side, and I was like, I know exactly which one that is. And with saying that in my head, the fish just tore off straight ahead of me, it's in the net. And after a bit of a dogged battle for about 2 minutes, got it in the net, and yeah, there she was, Chili's in the net at 45-14.
Well, a bit speechless really, but what a morning it's been. Come down yesterday, didn't see no signs of fish at all. Had a look around, decided to go centre of the lake, so and what, just speechless. What a result it's been. Woke up this morning, right hand rod ripped off, and what a fish it is, Chili's at 45-14. Look at that, what a result. Oh, let's get her back now, hope for another one. Mega.
Now, you work in a pretty successful tackle shop, a well-known one, and you see so many different products on a daily basis, everything new coming in. Now, how do you decide what you're going to buy for your fishing with such a massive array of products on the market?
That is a hard question, but to be fair, we see, well, as if you work in a tackle shop, and if you know of yourself working in a tackle shop, any of you are watching a video, you'll know that you'll see all these new products coming out before anyone else is. So you do get a bit overwhelmed. You think, oh, I could do with that, I could do with that, just because of the fact it's new. And Mark in the shop will probably tell you that I'm one of the worst for that. Anything new, I've got to have it. But now, after working there a few years, you tend to, obviously, you yourself, you're going to know what your own style of fishing, what you're going to need, what's going to suit you. So you then start picking out, rather than buying it straight away. Once they come in, you can sort of have a better look at it, just think, how can I use that in my fishing, how can I use this in my fishing? And then, like, over the last couple of years, that's what I've tend to have done. So anything that comes out that's going to give me an advantage in my fishing, I would have, unless it's something that's really bulky, because I like everything compact. But yeah, just the only thing I can say really is when the new bits come in, sort of I tend to wait after it's been out for a little while, so I can actually get a feel for what it's like, what it could be used for, and how it's going to affect my fishing, and that's how I decide what products I want to buy, really.
Right, Sean, let's go through your bait and what your choice is and how you use it.
I'm a very big fan of sticky baits, Manila. Have been for quite a few years. It's caught me loads of fish out of this syndicate, and the way I like to use it is mix my sizes, chop the boilies up, have 12s, 16s, 20s, also big pellet, but I also like a lot of liquid content with my bait. A couple of sort of lighter liquids that crack cloud in the water column, give it different tractions, like for all the different levels of water columns. Other than that, I also tend to add a heavy, more stickier liquid, as you can see in this bait mixture, that's going to just lie on the floor with the bait, surround your rig, present a nice halo to draw those fish in. But that's the best way I like to use it, really. It's done me well over the last couple of years on here. And then obviously in the winter I tend to mix a bit of maggot in there, because I know the fish in here do love a bit of maggot. Can we turn the light off?
What's that?
Can we turn the light off?
Leave the light on.
Yeah. Mate, it's just, I don't know, it's difficult to tell with this fish. It feels heavy. It's just like slight head knocks, but it's coming in past now. Fucking one toner. Come on, come on. Come on. Oh, flipped over the dorsal. Hate when that happens.
Sweet.
Not a bad food. Scaly. Going for a note.
Oh, it's little Archie.
Is it?
Yeah.
Fuck yes, I wanted that fish.
Yeah, it's little Archie, mate. Definitely, look.
Oh mate, look at that. Come on. Get in that net. Get in!
Well done, mate.
What a result this is. Literally thinking I was going to blank. There was nothing showing. We see a bit of activity, but no full shows. No bleach prior to this. Just having a word with Tony, and all of a sudden my right hander is absolutely torn off with this absolute curler. Bang on, £31. Look at that. Absolute perfection. The scales are just unreal. Absolutely buzzing with this. Can't beat it this time of year, especially when it's fishing slow. And yeah, I've just got them bagged. An absolute beaut. Mega fish.
Right, well, it's the next day now. Next morning, we're going home in an hour, so we're now time to pack down. Nothing else happened overnight since Sean's fish, and just had a load of rain really. That's all we had, rain all through the night. So the weather's been proper against us this session, but that's carp fishing, so you've got to take the rough with the smooth and hope for the best. So yeah, well, I'll be seeing you on my next vlog, and thank you very much for watching, and I hope you all have a fish on the bank very soon. See you later. Say bye, Sean.
Bye.